Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Scar back with another video today, and I've got a special video. I don't normally do these kinds of videos, but I'm going to be talking about, in my opinion, the most underrated Fortnite season of all time. So I'm going to be talking about why I think it's underrated and why lots of people do hate on it actually quite a lot, but I think there are several reasons why it is actually a very good season. So the season I am talking about, guys, some of you will be quite surprised when I say this, it is actually season 9. In my opinion, season 9 was actually a great season, but it was very, very hated, and I'm going to be talking about why it was hated. Okay, so guys, to start off with, at the start of the season, there were some great new locations. I know lots of people are gonna hate these, and I think one reason why people do hate season 9 is because not the locations that were added at the start of the season, but the locations that they removed. Because Neo Tilted and Mega Mall were both added instead of Tilted Towers and Retail Row. Two great locations, but I do think Neo Tilted and Mega Mall were severely hated just because they replaced some great seasons. Sorry, not seasons, locations. But just the people, so lots of the community, I believe, liked the locations, but lots of people liked them, but didn't realise they liked them because they loved Tilted Towers and Retail Row. Some other locations that were added and changed at the start of the season. Pressure Plant was added instead of Volcano. I think lots of people really enjoyed that. Pressure Plant was a great spot to land. Loot Lake was changed. It was taken over by the Fortnite government, and sky platforms were added. Sky platforms were great. They were great to land on, great to have a good loot route in the early game, and I think they were quite underrated, because in my opinion they were a great addition, but not many people really talked about them. So at the start of the season, another reason why some people really hated season 9 was because the combat shotgun was added and the pump shotgun was vaulted. Yes, I don't think they should have vaulted it. The pump shotgun should have stayed in the game, but later in the season they did bring it back, and some of the other items and weapons that were removed at the start of the season really did actually, in my opinion, make Fortnite better, because Clingers, the poison dart trap, the scoped revolver, the suppressed AR, the thermal AR, balloons and buried treasure were all vaulted, and I think buried treasure was really good in pubs and casual games, but not like, it was good, but in competitive it was a bit overpowered if you did find one. So I think the weapons and items that were vaulted at the start of the season, apart from the pump shotgun, were great. Epic must have really thought about it, and I think they did well apart from the pump shotgun. Next, they actually vaulted the drum gun and bow, which is really good because Epic were really listening to the community, and they were two very overpowered weapons in Season 8. So it's good that they nerfed them. Really good. Next, they actually buffed tactical shotguns, which is another great change. I don't think too many people actually knew about the buff, but buffing tactical shotguns was really good because when they actually fixed the combat shotgun, because at the start of the season it was broken, sometimes it was really inconsistent, sorry. Sometimes it would do 30 damage, other times it would do 100 damage just to the head. It was really inconsistent, so it's good that they buffed the tax, because when it was fixed, they were very strong, very strong. So it's good they buffed the tax. Another reason, at the start of Season 9, there were so many LTMs, so many, just an insane amount of LTMs, which I think competitive players did like playing, but casual players really did like playing them, because they were just something to spice up the game, just make it a bit more fun for the people that didn't really want to sweat. They could just have some fun because there were no building LTMs, there were unvaulted LTM, lots of LTMs like that, one shot, sniper shootout, great LTMs. In another update, they introduced the tactical AR. The tactical AR was a great gun. Lots of people didn't actually realise it was that good, and it was really, in my opinion, it was a great gun for competitive and casual players, because it was not OP, but it was something that was fun to use. It was something different to just the normal heavy AR, burst AR, auto AR that you would normally get. So I do think that's good that they put that. And they nerfed ballers and they nerfed drum guns again, which was another good change. Epic Games were really listening to the community of like nerfing, vaulting and buffing items that needed to be changed, and I just think it's great. They did actually vault the compact SMG at the start of the season as well, which is another phenomenal change, because Epic Games realized that Fortnite was in a time where there were lots of spam weapons. That's why they were nerfing drum guns a lot, and they did vault the compact SMG, which is great. Absolutely great. Epic Games were listening to the community. In another update, they added hotspots, which were actually really good, because it was fun for casual players, helping to decide where they land. And if you wanted to get lots of kills in a public match, you could just land at one of the hotspots, because lots of people would land there. And for competitive, I do actually believe it was a good change, because even though in competitive lots of people will stick to one spot, sometimes when you need a good game, you might want to change it up a bit, so people could land at hotspots, and it makes it better for the people that land at those spots. It makes it better because they will get better loot, and in tournaments it will just make it a bit better for them, because if they need a good game, they can get good loot because they will know the location, and it will just be great. And again, more LTMs. LTMs were brilliant in Season 9. I think Season 9, in my opinion, was a really good time for Fortnite. I know lots of people didn't like it, but there were lots of things for casual and competitive players, and Epic Games were really listening to the community, which is great. In the next update, I mean, personally, I did love this gun, but I know lots of people didn't like it. It was the burst SMG that was added. I mean, I found it very enjoyable, but I do know lots of people didn't. The suppressed SMG was vaulted, which it's a spam weapon, an SMG, so I think it's good that they vaulted it. But one thing, you may be asking, if it's a spam weapon, why did they vault it and then bring another SMG? It's actually because the first SMG, because it was a burst weapon, it was a lot easier to counter with your builds, and just a lot easier to not get totally spammed, and there wasn't as big a clip as the suppressed SMG, which is really good. Really good. In another update, this, in my opinion, was a great update. They added the storm flip item, which was actually very good for competitive and casual players. Lots of you guys might be saying it's not good for competitive, but I actually think it was, because it was something. It's something a bit like floppers and slurpfish, but you didn't need to have as many, and it wasn't overpowered, because you could just use it to try get out of storm when you got into a bad situation. You could use it to, in fights, you can use it really strategically to damage the opponents to win fights. It was just a really good item. It was something that you could throw at someone's base to get them out, but it won't just totally destroy them. It's a bit like the junk rift, but just not extremely overpowered. So I do think it was a great addition. They nerfed the boom bow. Again, they didn't nerf it at the start of the season, but they nerfed it again because it was still quite overpowered. And Epic Games did really well in Season 9 at just nerfing weapons that needed to be nerfed. So that was great. They did vault the hunting rifle. I'd say they probably should have kept it in public matches for casual players, because hunting rifle was really fun to play with, but maybe not in competitive. So it's a bit of a controversial thing, whether it was a good change or a bad change, but you can all have your opinions. Let me know in the comments, guys. And again, one thing I will be talking about a lot this video, so many LTMs, like so many, it's just crazy. There were actually so many LTMs this season. It was just amazing. In another update, they added the proximity grenade launcher, which personally I don't think it was too great. It was good for public matches, but maybe not competitive, as you could use it very well. If you knew how to use it, you would destroy your opponent. But this update, they did something great. So first, they increased the spawn rate of shields, and shotguns, and infantry rifles, which is just brilliant. Epic Games really knew what they needed to change, and it was just amazing how they did change spawn rates of these items, and just small things like that really made it better. They did also decrease the spawn rates of the heavy AR and the turret, which another thing that's really good, because the heavy AR was very common at this point, and the turret was just something lots of people actually didn't take it, because even though it didn't take up an infantry slot, they didn't take it because they didn't want to just get in the way of traps and RPGs. So I'd say it's good that they decreased the spawn rate there. Although I do think maybe they should have just vaulted it for competitive, because I know lots of casual players did like that. Okay, and this next update was the best update, in my opinion, the best update there has ever been. It may sound weird when you actually hear the update, but it was amazing. It was just amazing. So they added chug splashes and prop hunt. Prop hunt was really good for casual players, because it just meant that there was something where it wasn't really battle royale, but they could still have fun with their friends, and it was just a great mode to play. They vaulted the boom bow. Another great change. Really care about what was in the game. They vaulted dynamite. Another explosive. It's really good. They vaulted that. And dual pistols. Dual pistols, I know lots of people love. I did love them, but I don't think they were really fun for public matches, but maybe not competitive, as it was a bit of a strange item to hold, and it was actually very, very good. Lots of people didn't realise, but it was actually quite good. So I think it could have actually ruined competitive. Well, not totally ruined, but it could have ruined a few tournaments if it had stayed in the game. The next update, another great update. They added the purple and legendary revolvers. I mean, I didn't really use them too much, but just something good for casual players. And they did introduce the 14 days of summer. 14 days of summer, it was really good. They unvaulted an item each day for 2 weeks, and they added new LTMs each day for 2 weeks. And the LTMs weren't just the same old things. They were really fun. Like, there was a tag LTM, there was a water balloon fight LTM, some really, really good LTMs. They unvaulted the rare tactical, they vaulted the rare tactical AR, impulses, rift to go, and cannon. Well, I think it was good. I think all these changes were actually quite good for competitive, because they didn't want too much rotation in the game at this point. I will be explaining why at the end of the video. Some of you guys might have already thought of it. Next, they unvaulted pumps, shockwaves, the suppressed SMG, and the grey, green, and blue revolvers. A good change, a really good change, I think, because lots of people really did want the pumps back, which is good. And shockwaves were actually good, because they had vaulted quite a lot of rotation, but they did bring back shockwaves, which I think were very healthy for Fortnite competitive. They buffed tactical shotguns again, infantry rifles, miniguns, and heavy ARs. Good change, I think. And they nerfed the drum gun again, which another good change. So next, in the next update, they added the epic and legendary tactical shotguns. very good change. They are still in the game now, and they are very good. They are healthy for competitive and casual players. They nerfed the combat shotgun, as I said earlier. It did get to a point where it was overpowered, but it's good they nerfed it. They vaulted the suppressed sniper rifle, and they unvaulted the bolt sniper rifle. To be honest, I think this was a good change, because it's more of something that's quite nostalgic, because the bolt sniper, it was something that's been in the game since Season 1, since the game came out, and it's something that lots of casual players especially will want, because personally I do prefer it to the suppressed sniper rifle, and I think it's more healthy for competitive, but that is my opinion. Let me know in the comments, guys. In the next update, the final update, they added the Storm Scout sniper rifle, and because it was their birthday, they added presents and cake to the game, and I think, even if it was meant for casual players, it was a really good change for competitive as well, because it was something that you could use just to get your health up after a fight, and it was really, really good. And to end off the video, guys, two things I want to talk about. By far the best two things of the whole season, it has to be the amazing in-game event we had, the robot versus monster event. That was superb. I'm sure everybody here loved it, and I know I did. It was a great event. And the second thing is probably the main reason why I think this is the most underrated season in the whole of Fortnite, and it's something even the casual players will have enjoyed just watching from home or in New York City. It is the Fortnite World Cup 2019. It was incredible, and to finish off the season, it was really something to just make the season just great, in my opinion. It was such a good season, and I think it was the most underrated. That is the end of the video, guys. So thank you for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. And thank you for watching. That's it from me. Bye.